Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, Accidental Beauty. If you're new, welcome. My name is Laura. I'm a self-taught makeup enthusiast who just loves trying different types of textures, different types of products, even products that I might not necessarily wear or like gravitate to. I just love playing with makeup. So today I'm going to be testing out some Nars products that were actually gifted to me by a friend. So I didn't actually spend any money on these, but these are still going to be, you know, my unfiltered opinions. So if you guys want to see my thoughts, first impressions, all of that, then please keep on watching. So I actually have foundation on half my face and I've got a bare face on the other half. I'm actually wearing the Nars Sheer Glow foundation and I didn't set it with powder because I'm going to be swatching a whole bunch of things on my face. What sort of kicked off this whole idea for this video was I was gifted 3 of these Nars Air Matte blushes. They're 3 cream blushes. I've got the shades Scandalous, Rush, and Orgasm. The first 2 shades, Scandalous and Rush, are just matte, plain finish, and then Orgasm is a shimmer finish, just like, you know, everything else Nars Orgasm. They fucking love that shade. So this is Scandalous, and then this is Rush, and then that's Orgasm. They retail at Sephora for $39. They've got 3.5 stars, so not the most promising. There are 5 shades at Sephora. It looks like there are more shades on their website. It looks like this is limited edition also, and they have 4.5 stars on their own website. Interesting. I'll just read a little bit about the product on the Sephora site. So it's a unique mousse blush that transforms into a velvety powder for a weightless cloud-like wash of cheek color. That sounds really promising. I actually really enjoy mousse blushes, and the fact that it settles into a velvety powder sounds like it might actually set itself. Then maybe it won't transfer. We'll see. Highlighted ingredients are jojoba gel, smooths pigment evenly over skin, passion fruit oil adds a boost of antioxidants, and color diffusion complex provides a sheer cloud-like wash of color to the cheeks. So it sounds like it's going to be kind of sheer. We'll see if we can build this up. How to use, that's what I want to know. So use fingertips or blush brush, sold separately obviously, to layer and build intensity for desired effect. Layer to build color intensity from sheer to full. Okay, so you can allegedly build this up. I'm just gonna zoom in and we'll start swatching. Oh, actually, I really like the way that the sheer glow looks. I just wanted to see how this product works on foundation versus bare skin because I am likely gonna wear it both ways. I actually don't wear foundation most days. Usually I'll put on concealer under my eyes and maybe drag it down a little bit, but I really don't wear foundation that often outside of filming and then sometimes when I just want to like be a little more dressed up. Let's start with Scandalous, the deepest color. Ooh. So it is very moussey feeling. That's what it looks like. Matches my sweater actually. I'm gonna just apply it with my fingertips because that's probably how I'd apply it just normally. I might use a sponge if I need, but let's try it out with my finger and see how that goes. It's sheer, but I mean, like, you can see it. It's very pretty. That's actually stunning. Oh, I really like that. Okay, so let's just give it a minute. I'm gonna apply it on the other side and then we'll see if it transfers. It probably won't because it's so sheer. Okay, hold on. Let's just apply a little bit more because I like a little bit more intensity with my blush, and these lights are just washing my skin out. So I want you to see just how pretty it is. Honestly, I wish that they released a version of this product that's more dewy because that would go over really well, I think. That is so pretty. Okay, it's way more intense in real life than it looks on camera. Let me do the other side and then I'll switch my phone so you can actually see what it like a closer depiction of what it looks like. So I've already got some redness. I've got like a really angry eczema patch happening, but below where we're focusing, so it should be fine. Yeah, I'm not gonna put as much on the side where I'm not wearing foundation. So I've got some textured areas. I've got some like flaky skin with this eczema flare. So I purposely didn't apply foundation on this side because I had a feeling it would stick to it, and instead the blush is sticking to it. But this color actually is like blending in exactly with my like red skin. You know what? This is probably the perfect blush shade for me because naturally my skin turns this color when it gets flushed or irritated. Okay, yeah, it does not want to stick down to these patches of dry skin. So I've just got like this awkward gap. I don't know if it's showing up on camera. Ignoring the fact that I'm having a bad skin day today, you know what, let's just see. Put it down and then blend around it. That sort of worked. Now I have to build up the other side because this ended up being so intense. Honestly, this is so easy to apply. I'm just gonna tone this side down a little. That looks a little more even. Sorry, ignore the bad blending. But anyways, so just switch to my phone. So this side is the side that I'm wearing foundation. Sorry for the messy blending. And then this side, I've got no foundation. Over here is where I've got that eczema patch happening, also down here. This is where I've got some like flaking skin, so it was sort of having some trouble sticking to it. I don't know if you can even see. It actually looks pretty good, all things considered. This blush is so stunning. But yeah, just to give you an idea of the intensity. Okay, I'm back. I've reapplied foundation and tried to calm down this side of my face, which actually, you know what, it looks not that bad. And let's swatch the second shade. This one, which is called Rush. This one is also a blush shade that I tend to gravitate towards. I really, really love peachy tones. I feel like they're also just really complementary on my skin tone. So let's try it out. So this one is actually, I wouldn't call this like a true bright peach. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it is kind of a peach. It's very subtle on me. Oh my god. Like, these will not show up on darker skin tones. This is like, honestly, like basically my skin tone. Okay, let's see if I can build it up a bit more. Okay, so when you build it up, it starts to show up, but like, oh my god. Like the shade that I just tried on before was the darkest shade, and even that was like just sort of my natural, like my own real blush shade, like when I actually blush. Okay, there we go. Now it's looking a bit peachier. Oh man, if this one had glitter in it, that would be perfection. So I'm really excited to see the Orgasm shade next, because that one has glitter, and I just love blush that has glitter in it. Because I've been doing a really messy job, but I'm just swatching these. Okay, and let's see how it looks on this side. I forgot to check with the last one if it transfers. So let's try with this one. Oh, I think I just put on too much. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna just build it up a little bit on this side. Okay, that looks more or less even. Okay, so this is the second shade in natural lighting. So this is the side with foundation. Sorry, I did a bad job at blending this again. Anyways, that's what it looks like. And then on this side, this is with no foundation. I tried to match the pigmentation levels. You know, it's going to show up more intense on the side where you're not wearing foundation, interestingly enough, or at least that's my experience. Let's just do it on the back of my hand. We'll see if it transfers. Okay, so we do have a tiny bit of transfer. And let's see the side where I'm not wearing foundation. Like, even less transfer. I wouldn't be too concerned about it transferring. It seems like, you know, it's probably gonna stay in place. And also if you apply a little bit more, if you are wearing a mask or you know, touch your face a lot, I would probably apply a little bit more in the morning so that, you know, throughout the day it's not gonna wear away. Okay, so I'm gonna take this off and then I'm gonna swatch the last shade, which is Orgasm. I'm really, really looking forward to this one. That's what she said. Okay, so let's try out Orgasm. So you can see the little flecks of glitter in here. I'm very curious to see how much of that glitter shows up. With the powder version of this, it's basically a duochrome blush. So you've got the pink shade as like the primary shade, and then you've got that golden duochrome reflect. So I'm very curious to see if they've managed to achieve the same effect with this one. I have a blush that's very, very similar to Orgasm in sort of a moussey cream texture, like sort of similar to this, but a bit squishier and a bit of like a thicker paste kind of texture. And that blush has been discontinued and I've been trying to find something to replace it. So let's see how this compares. I don't think this is gonna be it. So far, it looks like it's just a pink blush, but Let's see how it applies. Okay, I had really high hopes, and this one is probably the most disappointing. There are like teeny tiny little flecks of glitter, but it's not nearly the same effect as the powder blush. Okay, I'm like really digging in here to try and get a lot because as you can see, it's not super pigmented. And this one feels more sheer than the other two. And I don't know if that's because they consider this a glitter blush. Like I'm seeing the glitter, but I'm not seeing a whole lot of pigment. Yeah, this is very disappointing. It looks like I'm not even wearing any product. Like it looks like my own natural flush is showing through my foundation. I'm not happy. Good news is it doesn't look like it's disrupting my foundation. I am very disappointed. Like as you can see, I'm pretty pale and this barely shows up. Okay, let's see how it looks on no foundation. So I see more of that gold reflect or like gold glitter really coming through. Let's switch to natural light. So maybe it looks better in natural light. We'll see. All right, so this is the third shade. This is Nars Orgasm, and I'm not seeing much glitter. Like it's definitely showing up. It shows up more in natural lighting than in, you know, my like studio lights. So this is the side wearing foundation. Don't really see that like gold reflect that the shade is known for. This is a shade with no foundation. I see a little bit more of that gold coming through over here. This just looks like any basic blush. I'm really not impressed. So I am back and I've applied foundation to both sides of my face and I've set it with the RCMA No Color Powder. Those were all the cream blushes, and I've got one powder blush plus an eyeshadow plus a lipstick that I figured I might as well swatch since we're doing kind of a Nars themed video. Let's do eyeshadow first, actually. I've never tried Nars eyeshadows before. So I got the shade Mekong. So it looks like it's got a little bit of shimmer. I think I'm just gonna put it in my crease because I've already got eyeliner and mascara on. Okay, so it's a little bit dark. Probably wouldn't normally put this in my crease. Oh wow, okay. It's a little more intense than I expected. Look like I've got raccoon eyes. Let's see how it blends out. Honestly, it looked like it sort of applied patchy. Wow, okay, it's really blending out, but yeah, it doesn't look to be the most smooth application. It's not the best formula I've tried. Also, I usually don't prime my eyes when I put down a matte eyeshadow because I find it just really dries out my eyelids. It blends out okay, but yeah, this isn't the best formula I've tried. I'm just sort of doing like a messy, smoky eye. I just don't know if I would purchase something like this, especially what Nars charges for their eyeshadows. $25 for a single eyeshadow, and it's okay. It's not bad. I would wear this, but it's not amazing. It just looks super patchy. Like I didn't do anything different, so I'm a little confused. So next I'm gonna try a powder blush. I have tried their powder blush formula before. It's pretty good, but I've only tried Nars Orgasm, which is that like kind of duochrome format. So this one is called Douceur. So I just have the single shade. I just put it in a magnetic palette. So this one's a matte blush. It's very cool toned. It's not quite mauve or mauve as Americans say. It's almost like a brownie taupey color. I'd almost contour with this. So let's try applying it like blush. Oh, you can see the remains of all the blush that I just swatched earlier. Hold on, let me just try and get rid of that. Shh. So let's try applying this. Okay, so it's like not super pigmented. Okay, there we go. Let's try contouring with this and see what happens. Oh, you know what? This is actually a really nice contour shade. Oh, wow. This is perfect to like sculpt your face. Oh, this is really nice. Yeah, so basically if you're pasty, this is like a really nice contour shade. Okay, so let's just kind of do like a blush contour situation. That is really nice. I've got like a very, almost like, it's like an everyday kind of like goth situation happening right now. I'm really impressed. I'm sorry, I'm doing a really bad job because I'm just swatching these quickly just to kind of show the color. Nice, yeah, I would totally wear this as a contour because also it's not the most pigmented. I wouldn't gravitate towards this as a blush because I personally prefer more pigmentation and it's like kind of hard to build that up. But for a contour, this is perfect. Yeah, I would definitely repurchase this and just wear it as a contour. Okay, and then the last thing that I'm going to be trying out is their Air Matte Lip Color, and this is in the shade Thrust. Okay, Nars, like, honestly, sometimes it feels like Nars is like a teenager or like a preteen who like just discovers like all these different words for sex, and they're like, look at the words that I know. Like they're like, hey, check out this new word that I learned. Like that's what it feels like, and it's just like, we are tired of your shit, Nars. So this is what it looks like. It's like a very sort of terracotta color. It's got kind of a vanilla-y scent. Ooh, this is nice. There's like a very big like stopper inside, so it's kind of hard to like dip your applicator in and out. It's a little heavy feeling. Like I can definitely feel it on my lips. Wow, this is so pretty. So what's interesting is my mom also has the same shade, same product, and she's quite a bit darker than me. She looks kind of more Middle Eastern. And on her, this color looked very like pinky. Like it looked it was like a little too light for her. Whereas on me, it's like, it looks completely different. It's this beautiful like terracotta-y color. This is like the type of nude lip, nude, but like bold nude lip that I gravitate towards. This is beautiful. It is kind of a heavy formula. I didn't really expect that. It doesn't seem to be transferring to my teeth, although I've heard, because my mom has been wearing this for a while, that it doesn't last through food, so that is unfortunate. Otherwise, I really like this. It's another day, and I realized I actually have a couple more products that I want to showcase in this video because why not? It's relevant, might as well talk about them. So I got this Nars Blush Duo. It has the shades Hot Sand and Orgasm. So I've tried Orgasm before, I love it. Ha. Like this is the original like powder formula. Really, really good. I haven't tried Hot Sand. Honestly, on my skin tone, it looks like it would be more of a setting powder than a blush. But let's see, because the shade Orgasm here looks a little bit lighter than it actually is. So maybe it's just like sort of a printing thing. Okay, so I got the standard Nars packaging. And then we have these teeny tiny duos. Okay, what? This is like... This isn't a blush. I would call that more of a highlight. Very strange. I'm just, you know what? I'm just gonna swatch it because now I'm very curious. Okay, so that's what a Hot Sand looks like. It's basically my skin color. Okay, if I show my face, like literally it is my skin tone. But it's got a little bit of like shimmer in it. Yeah, I'm gonna highlight with this. Okay, you know what? We're already zoomed in. Let's start with this Hot Sand shade first. And I'm just gonna highlight with it because there's no point in trying to apply this as a blush. See, it looks darker on the brush. It's really strange. So like I can see it, but okay, there we go. My lights are completely washing it out, but it's got like a really nice luminous glow. Just turn down the lighting a little bit. Yeah, it's like a very, I don't know if I'd call it natural because it is kind of like otherworldly a little bit. Let's highlight the tip of my nose because I like doing that. I feel like you need kind of like a good amount of this product. Like I'm dipping in a few times just for it to be able to show up, and like I'm pretty pasty. First impressions of this, not great. Like once you can get it to show up, it looks very pretty, but I don't know if it's worth it. Okay, and then I'll just dip into the Orgasm shade with this absurdly large brush. Like it's so weird that they put these two together because this Hot Sand shade, even though it looks kind of champagne-y, it shows up kind of more icy, and then Orgasm has such a warmth to it. And like once they mix, then you get more of that champagne-y tone. Yeah, so now that they're mixing, now there's more of that champagne that's coming through. So I mean, they mix nicely together, but don't know. With this blush, even though I've tried it many times, it's one of my favorite blushes. Spoiler. You know what? They look really nice layered together. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna put a little more. Just gonna tap it on with my fingers. I'm just gonna put a little more of this shade over top, just because I feel like it's sort of blended in with the the Orgasm shade. Okay, there. Now you can see it on its own. Or at least I can in real life. Again, my lights are kind of washing it out. Okay, there you go. So like on camera, you see this really nice icy glow, and it's almost like a wet look. And in person, you see more of those like cool tones. On camera, I feel like it meshes a bit better. Hold on, let's just zoom out so we can kind of see the full picture. Oh, wow. Okay, so it's very blinding on camera. In person, not as much. So this is now showing what the Orgasm X blush looks like. So I've tried this blush out once before. I liked it, but I wasn't wowed by it. But I also wasn't using the best brush to apply it. So this is how she looks. And I just want to compare this with the original Orgasm blush, because I think this one is a bit more orangey. Oh, wow. Okay, so they are very different. So this is the original Orgasm versus Orgasm X. So you can see there's quite a difference, especially on camera. It's showing up very, very different. I'm going to get an accurate depiction of the color. It's really difficult. But Orgasm X is on the top and Orgasm is on the bottom. Orgasm is also a lot more reflective. Orgasm X seems to be a little bit flatter. And let's just apply it. Haven't done the rest of my face yet. I actually haven't powdered my face, but it should be fine. Oh, okay, right. I forgot. This is very pigmented, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Okay. So, my lights are washing it out, but in person, it kind of looks a little like clown makeup. So, I'm literally just tapping this on and then I'll blend it out after. Yeah, like you can see there's like a stripe on my face. So it's definitely not as like duochromy reflective as the original Orgasm. Like it does have that shift, but it's like, it seems like there's more of like a matte satin base and then it's also reflective. Whereas I feel like with the original Orgasm, it's got more of that like duochromy reflective base. And not a whole lot of like matte satin pigment. I don't know how to describe it. Like it's pretty. I just really want more of that duochrome to show. So if any of you know of a blush that kind of has the same color family as Orgasm or Orgasm X, but is more duochromy, because really I want like a duochrome blush. Preferably cream or liquid with that punch of color. I don't want a subtle duochrome blush. So something like as pigmented as this, but more of that duochrome coming through. I'm just using my foundation brush just to try and like soften the edges because it's kind of a lot. If I use my flashlight, does that help at all? A little bit. You can kind of see like it is reflective, but it's very pinky. Just trying to blend it out a little bit more. So on camera, it looks nice, it looks subtle. In person, it's a little intense. And this is coming from someone who absolutely loves a lot of blush. And it's kind of surprising that Nars would make such a pigmented blush, considering that a lot of their products are pretty light on the pigment. So I mean, if you have darker skin, this shade would be absolutely perfect for you. I'm glad that Nars is coming out with shades that are more pigmented, will probably show up on deeper skin tones. I think that's absolutely amazing. I guess I'm just kind of surprised because they're not really known for making products with a lot of pigment. And I'm going to finish off the rest of my face, see how it interacts with my other products, and then I will show you the final look and talk about my thoughts. All right, so this is my face done. I think it looks a little bit better. Maybe it's worn away a little bit. Maybe it's just like, you know, this is a slightly intense look, I guess, a mildly intense look. So maybe it looks a little bit better. I am like pretty flushed looking. What do I think of this? Let's do a quick rundown of the products. So, I'm actually going to be rating the cream blushes individually rather than as a whole because each shade is different. So I think I would give the shade Scandalous, the first like berry kind of shade that I tried. So I would give this a solid 11 out of 5. This is beautiful and I looked at reviews online. It does show up on darker skin, but I think you really have to build it up. But on me, this is like the perfect natural looking, like realistic looking blush. It's almost scary how accurate this color is to my real like flushed skin. Really, really nice, blended out beautifully. Like, I mean, I did a really shitty job blending it out, but if I actually spent time with it, like I can tell that this is a really good formula. Next, the shade Rush, also really good. I didn't love it quite as much as Scandalous, but it is also really good. The color is really nice. I maybe had to build it up a little bit more than Scandalous, but honestly, I really liked it. I give this a solid 5 out of 5. And then Orgasm. This was so disappointing. I give it like a 3 out of 5. It was fine once I built it up, and I had to apply it like 4 times over foundation. Didn't love that. Really wasn't great. I was really expecting a lot more of that duochrome to shine through, and it just really didn't. It was like teeny tiny little gold sparkles, but not enough for it to match the powder blush. So very disappointed there. I did like that all of them were not quite transfer proof, but I call it transfer resistant. Yeah, it's just a really nice, easy, light formula. You can apply it on foundation or on bare skin, and it works really nicely on both. Let's talk about the eyeshadow. It's fine. It's pretty good. I think I give it a 4 out of 5. It's not bad. It's not amazing. I have tried a lot of different formulas, and this one just isn't my favorite. It's okay, but I don't think it's worth the money. Personally, I think there are a lot better formulas on the market for like a matte or like a sort of matte with shimmer formula. Like ColourPop does a really nice one, and they're like really, really cheap. And then this lipstick is actually really, really lovely. I am like wowed by the shade. I didn't expect to love this shade as much as I do. It doesn't match the color on the component. I also love how Nars has that like really sort of velvety matte texture to all of their products. I really like that. I was expecting, you know, the shade to look obviously a bit more like this. It's a bit more red instead of more orange. Doesn't super bother me. I'm happy with either shade. My only complaint is that it does feel a little heavy on the lips, and the fact that my mom says it's, you know, once you eat, it's basically gone. I'll just do a quick like kiss test. Yeah, so it transfers. Other than that, like it's a nice formula. I probably wouldn't be able to wear this under a mask, unfortunately. I think I give it a 4 out of 5. It's really nice otherwise. And then the blush, the Douceur powder blush. This might be my new favorite contour product. I really love this. As a blush, not the biggest fan. As a contour, this is absolutely perfect. I give it an 11 out of 5. Highly recommend if you're super pasty and you're looking for something to contour, to like really sculpt your face. I think this is the product for you. I remember years ago, NYX had a blush, and now I can't remember what it was called. I'll put it up on screen if I can remember the name. I bought it and it was way too dark. I don't know what people were talking about. They were like, yeah, if you're super pale, this is the contour product for you. Actually, it might have been an eyeshadow. Anyways, doesn't matter. Point is, it was like way too dark. I ended up just having like really muddy contour all of the time. This is a much better match. If you're like my shade or lighter, just for reference, I am Too Faced, Born This Way. I'm either Swan or Snow. I can't remember which one. I'll put it up on screen. So pretty much if you're like my skin tone or lighter, I think you're really gonna like this. I don't really love Hot Sand. There are other highlighters that I've tried that give you this effect with a lot less effort. Like literally I went in like 4 times just to build it up to this intensity, and it sort of has a hard time like showing up on my skin tone. I feel like it's like, I mean, it shows up, but like, again, like it took like 4 or so applications just to get it to like really look like there's something on my skin. Yeah, I don't really love that. I think I give that a 3 out of 5 because once you build it up, it looks nice, but it's just kind of annoying to keep dipping your brush in there. And then Orgasm, 11 out of 5. Love it. It's a really, really beautiful shade. And I just wish the other formulas of it show up the same way or in the same intensity as the powder version. Powder version, hands down, one of my favorite blushes of all time. I don't love this one as much as the original Orgasm, but it is really nice. It is very like fun. It's definitely a great, kind of actually a great all seasons blush because the bright like punchy color is very summery. Also that glow kind of gives it that like very summery, warm, like you've been in the sun kind of vibe. But then it's also actually, I think this could work in the winter for sort of also that like sort of winter flushed, you've been out in the cold glow. So yeah, I really like the glow. That's like my favorite part about this blush. And I wish there was just like even more of that. I actually swatched a couple of the liquid blushes that are, I think it was actually just the Orgasm shade that's supposed to have that sort of duochrome shift. It's like barely there. It's really disappointing. I wish Nars would take the intensity of their powder blushes and translate that exactly into like a cream or a liquid formula. If there are any brands out there that do that in like, because there are a lot of powder blushes that do that. So if there's a cream or liquid version of that sort of duochrome effect, like really, really bold duochrome effect that's out there, please feel free to comment below. I have been looking for something like that for a really, really long time. I think I give it a 5 out of 5. You know what? I think I like it. It's really solid. Like the formula of all Nars products basically that I've tried is really, really good. They are really, really underrated, under-talked about products. But I like that Nars does have options that are a little bit more pigmented. A lot of their products are just light on the pigmentation, and it's a little lackluster for someone like me who really enjoys pigment, or for people who have deeper skin tones than I do and struggle to get products to show up properly on their skin. So this is nice to see. I'd like to continue seeing them go in this direction. So that is everything for my Nars sort of like mini review. It was like basically almost a full face of Nars. Anyways, if you're looking for recommendations, if your skin tone is sort of close to mine, and just sort of if your coloring is similar to mine, you want to know if certain shades will work on you, I hope this was helpful. I definitely had fun swatching these. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below. I know none of these are like new products. It's sometimes fun just to, I mean, these products are kind of new to me. I am newer to a lot of these kind of like slightly higher end brands. I feel like when I first started getting into makeup, like I obviously started off in the drugstore. We don't have Ulta in my country. I live in Canada. So Ulta is like a great place because you have drugstore and high end. You can kind of discover a lot of brands that way. And I was very intimidated to walk into like a MAC store or a Sephora for a really long time. Yeah, so I kind of like stuck to drugstore type products for a while and then finally ventured into Sephora and then only discovered like kind of the brands, I guess, that like at the closest Sephora to me were put in the front of the store, and I didn't really explore the whole store very much. So I only stuck to a few specific brands that I think were popular on YouTube at the time as well. So I'm only sort of like, you know, learning about, or like not learning about, but like trying out some brands that I just never had any contact with before because, you know, they didn't really put out a whole lot of like buzzworthy products. And Nars is actually a pretty underrated brand. I know like it's sort of like an oldie but a goodie, kind of a staple brand, but like they don't put out a whole lot of innovation, so people don't really talk about them. But it's fun to kind of like look in your collection, or if, you know, friends are getting rid of their products and you're sort of exposed to different brands, and just kind of try out different things. I definitely had fun trying out these blushes, and I do wear them regularly, so this was sort of a nice way to add products to my collection that I know are like, you know, pretty solid in most people's opinions, and try them out for myself. And I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and let me know what you thought in the comment section below. I just want to like, you know, have more conversations with people who are as passionate about makeup as I am. So feel free to start a conversation below. And if you like the type of looks that I do here on my channel, usually they're a little bit more bold than this. So if you love, you know, like fun, colorful makeup, sometimes I get like a little bit edgier with my makeup and fashion. So if you like kind of that realm of things, then I'm sure you'll enjoy the content that I post on my other social media, and I always leave links in the description box below so you can check those out. That just really helps me grow as a small creator. Any bit of interaction is greatly appreciated. And if you enjoyed the content that I post here on my channel and you want to see more, I love it if you could subscribe and turn on notifications, and that way you'll get updated every time I post a new video, and I'll see you guys next time.